Hello, Casey.
Greetings, sir.
So, what we're talking about, this concept of passion, losing your passion.
Passion,
Passion.
right? Yeah, losing the passion, keep the dream alive from the youth to carry you on into the later years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What is it? Is it just a world that beats you down after a while and you're just like, throw in the towel, man? Time to throw in the towel.
Is that what it
It's
is?
no winning attitude, though.
A series of life choices? Or was just life
Life
beating you
choice.
into submission?
Oh, yeah. Compromise. As you move along, what do you really want? And then by the end of it all, you're just like, wow, things not getting any younger here. Better make some choices. And
Mm.
once you do, then you can start those paths. Like for me, I started having a family quite late. But I was like, well, I better get on it while I can.
Right.
Um, Passion. I don't know. I guess it's like everything's such a cheap imitation out there, right?
Mm.
What do we really want? That's all just like it's just get enslaved to everything that you own. So just you have to do maintenance and your whole life revolves around it. I don't know. I guess at this point it would be good just to figure out what's important. And for me, what's important is having a great view, access to a beautiful beach at this point in my life, and find some happiness in that. Happiness, so contentment, peace. Happiness, it's a tall order. Peace would be better.
Surely we can have both. We can have it all. Seems to be what most men strive for. What most men want really is peace out of everything.
That's it. That's what we want
You know,
from our women.
come home and just be peaceful.
Some have argued that that's not possible with a woman involved.
Oh dear. So what, a woman the issue?
Apparently, statistically, they are. We got stats on our side on this one. The whole like lesbian couples get divorced at
Uh,
75%, heterosexuals at 50%, and gay people at 25%, showing the definite curve towards was it Bill Maher says is like that's gay means happy, right?
mm,
And they're the happiest out of all the couples out there. You have the least divorce rate.
maybe you should get yourself a little Peruvian boyfriend. Is that what you think? Or just stick with your dogs
Dogs are good.
and give you
They
happiness.
like can be a bit much though, man. I'm up to 3 dogs already.
Wow, it's a lot.
They're great. They're having a great time. They have not lost their passion, that's for sure. They are living the life.
Were you more passionate in your younger days?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the problem was is that I found that not everybody was on the path of sovereignty. For
Mm,
me, it was just like given. Of course, everybody's got to be working towards this freedom from work, from food, from our energetic needs. Why are we always focused on making that manifest in our lives? Why are people compromised and settling? And then as you get older too, you're like the whole show is run by satanic pedophiles. They literally write our school books. They're still in office. People just don't apparently care enough to throw them out. I guess it's just the status quo now. I don't know. I guess maybe that's what's bugging me.
well, that bugs me too. That's actually my issue. It's like, well, what's the point? You know, it just feels like I'm pushing a rock uphill here. I don't want to participate in their system.
So hence the castle, right? And the boats. Just try to create that independence and sovereignty at that very fundamental level. Completely check out of the society. Try to create like a dynasty. Uh,
Well, ideally, it's like recreating what the Amish have, something along those lines. Getting back to our natural nature and living off land and simplifying
tribal,
our lives. Tribal.
clan.
Yeah, planting your own food and sharing it with the community.
Yeah, this is what we're doing with our community up in the mountains. But it's so crazy. It's such a hard learning curve.
Mm.
And by the time people figure it out, decades have gone by with the whole living off the land. Like the things I've learned there have taken me 10 years to discover, and I see everybody else jumping right into the mistakes that I made. And I'm at a loss to even try to educate or show people this because they need to learn themselves because what I've learned is counterintuitive. And so nobody wants to listen to what I have to say at this point. And I get it. I wouldn't either if I was them because it's completely counter to what my ideas were at the beginning of community the growth. The parts don't make the whole better. You do need strong leaders in almost like a hierarchical situation if you're going to be successful. Otherwise, you'll just drain your life energies and everybody dies miserably. Like it's literally that cut and dry.
Well,
And it's not
well,
here.
going into it, you had a different perspective, right? You had more like a non-hierarchical kind of
Everybody,
take on
yeah. Well, let's get everybody's opinion on this before we move forward on all these steps, right?
it.
And what everybody thinks and how they can contribute and fit everybody's skills into about, best where they're suited for.
That makes sense. It sounds great.
It does, but it's not practical. I think because like we're so idealistic in our thinking, particularly of the dreamers, right?
Mm,
That what we're working with out there is a landscape of broken people in a broken society that are lost,
mm,
and everybody's trying to put on a good face. But when you like boil it down and try to put them in a nature or close to nature situation, that's where the rubber hits the road, they say.
mm,
And nature is going to have the final say. There's no like sugarcoating it. You can't do your woke mentality living close to nature without being completely destructive to you, yourself, your relationships, your progress, anything moving forward. Whereas in the Western world, within our metropolis, our metro centers, I think that's where you can get away. They have the permission to live in those fantasies. Uh, but I feel like when you actually get out there and trying to provide for yourself on an energetic level, you can't deal with that nonsense. And if you do, it just kills you, destroys your all your potential, all your human youth and energy and vigor potential. Hope that doesn't all sound too negative.
No, I think it's quite realistic. It's just making me think. I'm like, what's really at the crux of it is like everybody's I think like you said, everyone's quite idealistic and perhaps where we really need to start is pe getting people. It sounds like it's a bit of a mental health issue, really, to be honest.
Yeah, health issues are prominent, even amongst highly successful or what we deem successful and well-adjusted people in our societies. They themselves are broken to the point where they're their own worst enemy, and unbeknownst to them or anybody else. And so I found it very dangerous to invite anybody into any sort of leadership roles. It's Yeah, people are broken. People are trying to figure it out.
Do you think people, what I notice, I think people are quite narcissistic. Our society is quite narcissistic instead of, because, that whole system, it's sort of it's a team effort. And I think within the teams, everyone's trying to pull in their own direction, and that's not. That's just not how things work, you know. Um,
I've 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 brought up a psychological experiment quite often when I come down to these conversations, and most people don't take it to heart, but why would they? The situation goes, you got a group A of students and a group B of students. You probably have heard of it. And they're both groups are given a task. Group A, though, is allowed to discuss the task amongst themselves openly, find solutions, network. Group B is also given a task, but they're not allowed to talk to each other about it. Each of them have to come to the conclusions and create a game plan on their own. Both of the group A and B are given a certain amount of time to complete the task. Let's say it's 20 minutes. So let's say it's an hour. Each of them are, everybody's given an hour to write on their paper and complete the task, what the solutions were and how to present them. The timer goes, the timer stops after an hour. Group A, who had all the time in the world to discuss things, all of them set their pencils down at a half an hour. None of them needed to use the time up to complete their task. Group B, almost every single one of them went up to the last minute, and some of them just barely put down their pencils in time right before the bell at the hour was rung. When both assignments are assessed, Group A's is very half-ass. Not a lot of effort put into it. But Group B's is fantastic, inspired, a lot of creative ideas. And so when we analyze this data, what have we come to conclusion is that you feel some sort of psychological relief, like you've attained the goal, if you're allowed to discuss it with others previous to actually attaining it. And therefore, it destroys your motivation in actually trying to manifest the real thing.
Interesting. And I totally relate to that. 100%. That's happening in my own life right now.
A lot of successful people say, don't tell your plans to anybody. That'll kill your dreams faster than anything.
Yeah.
And then it's about executing plans. And if you sit and talk to people about it, you're never going to execute it.
Yeah, well, that's well said. Would that be why you've lost your passion then?
Yeah, because I've been through that rodeo so many times that I'm just like, I'm in my 50s now, right?
Mm.
And I've seen a lot of these ideas just when I have to turn them over, and hopefully the next generation will be excited and continue on with the work that we've done. I can't help but conclude that that's not going to ever happen. And so I have to really figure out what's going to happen. What am I going to do here? Like, what is worthwhile in life? To hear the lamentation of your enemies and drive them before you, the lamentations of their women, as Conan would say. What is best in life, Conan? I don't know. You've heard me talk about creating dynasty, focusing on family, trying to concentrate the energies within our own family lines and try to like create something out of that. Because taking it to the world is just, I haven't found it to be fruitful. But maybe if we went back to clans and tribalism, and
Well, I think there's something really interesting to be said about that. That's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, if you look at the tribes, you know, they always remained within the tribe, and the elders taught the youngins how to be, and it was, you know, and so it just kept on going. So everybody was kind of, well, it was the way of life, and you're on the same page, you know. So it started at a young age, teaching the youngins how to live, how to survive, how to thrive, what works, what doesn't. They get to see it for themselves. And so the tradition moves on and keeps on going. Um,
have to be necessarily hunting and gathering,
No, no, but the idea is the education. That's the thing. And
like
now,
a family stronghold
yeah,
where resources could be collected over many generations to help the further the
yeah,
family and next generation.
of course, the family, the community, you know what I mean? It's all of that. And it starts at home. It starts with the individual. It starts with the way the kids are brought up. I notice it a lot now. It seems that morals and kind warm-heartedness doesn't exist like it used to. I mean, I've met so many people through my journey, and I just find that they're just really immoral people, you know? Authenticity is just something that I struggle to find in people these days. I really do. Just kind-hearted people doing things simply because it's the right thing to do. I struggle to find people like that in this day and age. Everyone seems to have some ulterior motive. Even in friendships, I've noticed, you know, a lot of people are friends simply to see what they can get from you. Um,
Yeah, leveraging.
yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about, It's some sort of mentality, even in relationships. I've noticed so much lately. It's like if you're not this, that, and the other, and you can't provide this and that for me, then it doesn't matter of the content of your character or your good attributes or your warm heart. We, which kind of saddens me, and that makes me lose my passion for life.
Well, you have to be able to care for your own first and yourself first before you can help others.
Oh, 100%.
There is also this concept, like the Shaolin monks or the temple Buddhists. They don't donate to the community. The community donates to them.
Hmm.
One of the things I've struggled with down here is how to help community. I've it's a complex problem. It's like curing or treating alcoholism. I think it's very much like that. How to help people is the same as like how to get people to not drink alcohol. Most of the things that people say they want are going to be very destructive to them, uh, or it's just going to enable bad behaviors without empowering them ultimately. So, like to empower people and populations, you have to have like a grand plan. For me, it's something I've had to like really define down here in this jungle and Amazon environment. Um, Otherwise, resources will just go too quickly if you just try to like help all the hands that are sticking out and all the drama and all the emergencies that are constantly taking place within a delusional society. Like they want me to pay for bad treatments that are actually going to kill them faster, and that's how they think I'm helping. And so realize that you have to have like a grand perspective on how to assist the culture. And so for me, that was creating like a health program, community health program, clinics that we can fund through donations, incorporating traditional medicines with Western medicines. That's the best I can come up with. I don't think it's a home run, but it's the best I got.
Pretty good. It's more than what other people are doing, that's for sure. But not everyone thinks like you. I think that's going back to the thing. It's everyone's just quite self-indulgent. Not everyone's like you and wants to create that kind of well-being for others.
I believe I have a very entrepreneurial sort of mindset with problem solving.
Well, you
Those
do. I mean, you've got a massive drive to just leave things better than how you found it. I think if that's from what knowing of you. And so it's always about raising consciousness and doing the best you can to try and get
all
everybody through it.
that's something that I've been passionate about most of my life, raising consciousness.
Where does that passion come from?
For me, after I analyze all the data, it's the only game in town worth playing. It's it's at a premium. It's rare. It's a rare earth find, earth metal out there. This mental state, consciousness. And then what is conscious? What is consciousness?
So that
What's the thing? Instantaneous savant syndrome. That shows us that we don't know anything about consciousness. Thousands of cases of people being in accidents in their lives, coming out of it, speaking a new language, being able to play instruments that they've never picked up or seen before. There's thousands of cases of this happening around the world. What's that? I think that shows us that we don't really know anything about what's going on.
exactly. That's an interesting one.
But when we look around at the world, it seems like a very unconscious place. So for me, the best thing to do is just to raise consciousness.
I mean, I get it. I'm with you. I mean, I don't think there's anything else personally other than that, you know, that trumps everything.
So yeah, the big dream that I've had for years is healing centers around the world, staff them with people that know many different modalities and can apply them.
I love the concept. I mean, it sounds amazing. Are we there as a collective?
Maybe I'm ahead of the curve with that or ahead of our time, but I still want to present the opportunity. I don't think so. I love being optimistic. I don't want to be pessimistic about it. Yes, there's a huge amount of people out there that would love that.
I think we're on our way, absolutely.
I believe it's just about finding your audience using modern algorithms.
Well, yeah, in terms of social media and whatnot, but if we take that out of it, I think people are looking for connection. People are slowly starting to, see that this world is a bit of a fraud and they're looking within and it's bringing it back to basics and simplicity. In terms of, consciousness, it's like you got to raise your own frequency and build yourself up in that way and then find others that are doing the same.
Yes, and find others that are on the same path. Like this is like a conceptual idea. This is a massive idea. And it could all be put on a landing page.
Hmm.
Come heal, and once you're healed, come live and create in these communities around the world. And come to these healing centers first to find yourself and your purpose.
Well, this is it, man. But it takes a lot of courage and it takes uh consistency, it takes passion, it takes sacrifice to want to do that. I don't know if everyone wants to give up all these things, all their worldly pleasures, or all their personal indulgences. And I think a lot of people just don't want to do the personal work, you know. I mean, there's both. There's people that are willing to face themselves 100%, which inspires me. Um, but also know there's lots of people that run and hide. I don't know. I'm not. trying to be pessimistic or anything. Just from my findings and living out in the world, it's like, which way are we swaying right now? Where are we going right now? You know,
The collective, but I think we would do well for creating areas where people could come and raise their frequency, heal their traumas, be inspired for new directions in life.
100%. I think the biggest contributing factor, and I hate to say it, is money. It's cash flow. If that wasn't a thing, I'm sure everybody would be free to move around.
So the place to start is minimizing what those costs are. So if we have these areas that have like, their own water and food supplies, energy, that goes a long way.
Oh, totally. I mean, if that's the transaction, it's your time and your energy, then that's amazing. How do the Amish people get their money, like in terms of how do they buy wood to build their homes and whatnot? Like,
They sell their products, they grow, they're farmers, they're excellent farmers.
oh, so they sell their, okay.
Yeah, they make milk, they sell milk to creameries, they make their own cheeses, they sell the cheeses, they grow beans, they sell the beans, they sell cocaine. That's a huge money profit. At least the ones down here outside of Pacopa do. I did hear a rumor, and I maybe saw a headline stating as such down here. It broke my heart. Broke my heart.
What
I've
was the
always
headline?
held such high esteem.
Say that again. I missed that.
There may have or may not have been allegedly some involvement with the local Amish people and illicit drug trade.
I've never heard this. They go against their religion. And they're Christians, aren't they?
Just farmers, man, just farmers.
Just humble farmers. Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought they kept everything in-house. I didn't realize they sold their products
Yeah, they sell.
to the outside world. I thought they didn't have
Yeah,
contact with the outside
they're
world.
setting up entrances and exits to the big stores, like a basket of cheeses.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting. They must sell a lot of cheese. They all seem to be quite a happy bunch.
I hear they self-regulate when they have issues instead of going to like local authorities. They go to their church authorities.
And what do you mean by self-regulate? Get a beating.
Like it's sort of like, violence or theft or misconduct, let's say,
Uh-huh.
amongst people of the Amish.
Uh-huh.
They will address that themselves rather than bringing in the outside world into their issues.
Right, so they'd have rules and guidelines within themselves. I'd like to know about that, what their rules are, what their punishments are. Well, it's the tribal law, I guess, their own version of it.
Depends on the Amish community too. I hear that there are some that are indulge in abuses more than others, and others that are pretty outstanding. Anyhow,
Mm. Do they buy their land where they live on, or they just claimed it?
I don't know. I'm feeling a little not so impassioned here.
Oh, well, sorry.
Because I think that's what this is all about. This is what this talk is about. Yes, you were saying I don't think the Amish understand law to the extent that maybe they should. I feel that the Amish would be very much interested in learning about these things because it's very much in alignment with their philosophy, their religious philosophy and way of life. I think for them to study these concepts of law would be very helpful for them. I had that comment and discussion with my friend Tim years ago about how ready-made the Amish were for natural law, republic law, all that, or commonwealth, I guess, for you.
Right.
We're out there,
So
kind of lost our passion there.
we did, we kind of just fizzled out. That's the way it goes. This is in real time.